Coming up, rain caused road crews to get a late start ahead of last night's snow and ice. We'll take a look at how conditions have improved since the morning commute. And following the announcement of millions in funding for multiple infrastructure projects across the region, we take a look at one of those projects in Knott County.
It is absolutely frigid around the region this evening, and we've got even colder air on the way for tonight and tomorrow. I'll have the full breakdown right now at 6.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Temperatures are expected to drop tonight, and we could be looking at single digits tomorrow night. Meteorologist Evan Hatter joins us now with more on what to expect. A very cold period coming up, Evan.
That's right, Steve. For most, that's without snowfall. Some of us still seeing a little bit of snow sticking around the region thanks to some actually lake effect activity coming in. But most of us, it's just straight up cold. Wise, Virginia right now taking you a live look at the high knob camera from UVA Wise. They're still dealing with some snowfall on those rooftops and on the grassy surfaces, but campus relatively clear when it comes to at least the walking surfaces. US 119 into Pine Mountain still seeing some snow cover on the side of the road, and even the potential for some of that to refreeze into black ice on the road overnight. We're talking about Wise. They've struggled to reach 20 for a temperature today, sitting at 19. Many of us in the low to mid-20s at the moment. You see some of that lake effect snow. It's flurries to be sure, but quick coating is possible as that continues to work its way south from Lake Erie. More on that in just a second. Either way, keep that WYMT weather app handy, because if you're not seeing the flakes fly, you're going to see the mercury drop. Actually, both at the same time in some spots, because we've got temperatures in the teens tonight and even more as we head into tomorrow night. I'll have all those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Evan, thank you. It's certainly been a busy start to the new year for road crews, from flooding to freezing. WYMT's Dakota Makers reports on how they are playing catch-up today before temperatures plunge even further.
State road crews say main highways are clear, but could still be slick in some spots.
We had our crews in their garage at 10. And by about midnight, we started getting some snow in some of the counties.
Crews usually pre-treat roads before wintry weather, but rain on Wednesday prevented them from doing so.
We were ready to go for this. We didn't get a lot of turnaround time from the last one, but we had a couple of days to make sure we had enough salt on hand.
Catching up Thursday morning to make sure roads were safe for morning rush hour, working on priority B and C routes.
We seem to have plenty of salt on hand, and we got some in this week. After the last couple of snowstorms we had, we were able to replenish some of our supplies.
With temperatures moving into the low teens Thursday night, crews say their melting agents lose effectiveness when temperatures are below 20 degrees.
Kind of evaluate conditions, and if we need to go out and hit some slick spots tomorrow morning, we can. Right now, we don't know if we'll be able to send the crews home at the end of the regular workday today.
In Perry County, Dakota Makers, WYMT Mountain News.
And if you do find yourself sliding on snow or ice, you should pump your brakes to stop your car instead of slamming them to help prevent a crash. A man was killed early this morning following a crash in Pike County. It happened when a car turned off of US 23, also known as South Mayo Trail, near the Kentucky 3946 intersection, and into the path of a commercial truck. The driver and two passengers were taken to Pikeville Medical Center, where 42-year-old Eric Blankenship was pronounced dead. The driver of the truck was not injured, and no drugs or alcohol are suspected. Omicron surges on as the Commonwealth's positivity rate continues to set new records. The state reported 13,614 new cases today, bringing our case total to 1,040,420. There were 20 new deaths as well, putting the Commonwealth's death toll now at 12,659. The positivity rate is once again at a new record high, now sitting at 31.37%. The Harlan County Health Department believes large crowds at 2 nights of basketball games could be behind a recent overwhelming spike in positive COVID-19 test results there. Harlan Independent versus Barberville on Tuesday, January 11th, and Harlan versus Harlan County on Saturday, January 15th. County Judge Executive Dan Mosley says department officials told him some people at the games had pending test results that would end up being positive. Mosley adds that he believes both districts have done, quote, an unbelievable job, though, at staying open this year. We will have much more reaction from district and county officials coming up tonight at 11. Kentucky GOP Representative Thomas Massey tested positive for COVID-19 on Thursday. The Lexington Herald Leader reports Massey made the announcement on Twitter this morning. He said he had cold symptoms for a short time, but feels like he is over it now. He said, quote, I will not be voting, meeting in person, or making public appearances until next week. I am not vaccinated or boosted. If trolls or media have other questions about my health status, the answer is most likely none ya. Senator Mitch McConnell announced more than $680 million in infrastructure projects yesterday in counties across Kentucky, one of which was in Knott County. WYMT's Chas Jenkins tells us what's being done there.
Raising the height of the sediment dam in Carr Creek Lake.
The purpose of those is to catch the runoff from the hollows from previous mining activity, just to keep sediment from filling up the lake.
While also improving water treatment capabilities.
Because a lot of people drink this water, they shower, bath, wash their clothes with this water. And, you know, we want to give them the best quality water possible that we obviously can.
A great opportunity for the county's tourism industry.
Way up in thousands of visitors every year. And you start adding more and more desirability to come there, and you got cleaner water, makes people like it a lot better.
Which could lead to more projects in the Carr Creek area.
We've got development that can take place over there, like the Carr Creek High School project, you know, that could provide some lodging overnight. It just brings tax dollars in and money to businesses.
Thankful for the support from the state, making the project possible.
We really appreciate them, I mean, for not only believing in our projects, but funding these projects. And you know, they've been a big friend to Knott County and Eastern Kentucky, and we're very appreciative of that, you know.
Sprucing up a beloved monument. In Knott County, Chas Jenkins, WYMT Mountain News.
Dobson says they do not have a timeline for construction or completion. However, he adds they plan to start as soon as possible. We have information on all the other projects funded over on WYMT.com. State representatives have introduced a bill into the House seeking to make charitable or crowd-funded bail organizations illegal in Kentucky. House Bill 313 seeks to amend a Kentucky statute which prohibits the act of business as a bail bondsman. The new bill would make it a violation of the law for nonprofit or charitable bail organizations to operate, furnish bail or funds to serve as bail or make bail bonds. The bill will be sent to a committee for review. As expected, Kentucky lawmakers have moved quickly to override gubernatorial vetoes of new district maps. The governor vetoed 2 bills that drew boundaries for state representatives and the U.S. House seats in Congress. WYMT's Phil Pendleton is live in Frankfort with the developments, including a legal challenge to what's now law. Phil?
Yes, good evening, Steve. The House and Senate moved quickly this afternoon to override the gubernatorial vetoes. It only took a matter of moments with very little debate on both House and Senate floors. And as that was taking place, a group here in Frankfort already says they're filing a lawsuit.
Fayette was split 10 times, and now it's only 9.
Republicans are defending their state House seat map, saying it is correcting wrongs made by the Democrats when they were in the majority. But the governor says it's political gerrymandering.
Splitting of some northern Kentucky counties, of Warren County, certainly what was done within Louisville. I think to put 2 individuals against each other, they actually jumped the Watterson for one neighborhood.
The House voted 69-23 to override House Bill 2, the state House seat district map. The Senate followed 24-10.
This is constitutional. It fully meets the Voting Rights Act, and I think he was foolish to veto it.
but I believe courts are going to have to look very closely and carefully at it. When you look at what courts have done, sometimes it's, does it pass the eye test? I certainly think the congressional map, where the 1st District now goes from Fulton County on the Mississippi to right here in Frankfort.
And more about that legal challenge. It's a group here in Frankfort made up of a number of different citizens, also the Kentucky Democratic Party, and they say they are mainly concerned about how the House seats are sliced up in many districts, and also that 1st Congressional District that goes all the way from Fulton County near the Mississippi River to up here in Frankfort, saying that a person that's represented in Frankfort should not be represented by the same person in Paducah. Live at the state capitol in Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, well, it is certainly some interesting boundaries. Thank you very much, Phil. We'll keep following from there in Frankfort. Well, the Mountaineer State is seeing record lows for unemployment. West Virginia's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate dropped 0.3 percentage point to 3.7% in December. That is the lowest rate for the state on record. Workforce West Virginia says total employment grew by 1,600 during the month, and the number of unemployed locals dropped to 28,900.
Heading back outside, more cold air is on the way as we close out the work week. I'll have the very latest on when temperatures might pop back above freezing on the way.
And still ahead, a blanket drive is being held with the goal of helping keep foster children warm this winter. And for those of you concerned with keeping your own homes warm, emergency officials have some tips on how to keep yourself safe from the elements and potential accidents.